Welcome to Megapath Presents. My name's Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk Daryl and Dwight, the Season 7 connection. Alright guys, so recently I've been thinking about something, and I don't even remember what led me down this path, but I was thinking more and more about the Daryl and Dwight and it creating conflict. I know what it was. The recent video I did where I said the right off the bat, which a lot of people thought I was predicting Daryl's death, which that was not at all the point of that video. So if you guys thought I was talking about Daryl's death, go rewatch that video because that's not even close to what I'm talking about. I did mention that maybe, Dwight could put two and two together. I did put that in the story because I like to cover all the bases, but that main video was specifically talking about how that could be the underboss, the guy Daryl blew up, and Dwight could be his future replacement, and I'm doing a video right behind this one, so it's going to be up very soon talking about that. So keep an eye out for that. Go rewatch that if you thought about it. But let's look at Daryl and Dwight, how they set them up. They set him up in the woods where Dwight didn't seem like that bad of a guy. He seemed like he was with bad people and he had enough and he said, fuck this, I'm out. You guys watched the episode, so you know what happened with him and Daryl. So he robs Daryl and he goes off on his own. Now from the comic book, we know, and you guys, fuck it. If you're a TV only fan, this isn't a frickin' spoiler. We know they put that character in the story. We know we're gonna see him again. So he gets mixed up back with Negan. That's who his prior boss was. They hinted at it and everything. So if you go back and rewatch that, you'll pick up on the hints. Anyhow, so now he works for Negan again, or he's living back at that community and everything like that. So I do believe since they started Daryl and Dwight, I don't think they just threw it in there just to have Daryl have some story with this character. I believe there's a chance they're going to build off of this. We do know from the comic book, and I'll put this in here, we're going to discuss a tiny bit from the comic, so if you don't want to know anything, here's your spoiler warning. Moving right along. 3, 2, 1, let's go. In the comic book, we do know that Dwight obviously was pissed off because of the burn face, his wife, that whole ordeal. He wants to betray Negan, and he's working with, eventually he starts working with Jesus, but I think he comes to Ezekiel first, if I'm not mistaken. Anyhow, in the TV show, that will be a little different. In the comic, he was a dick at first. Even tried to, beat Carl to death. Just a straight dick. Even Negan, which is the biggest villain, was like, yo, Dwight, chill, dude. You're about to beat a kid up. Fall back, you little, two-faced son of a bitch. So you have to look at it. Dwight was a scumbag in the beginning in the comic. Now in the show, when Dwight comes back, and obviously he's going to be an enemy at first, and they'll definitely be translating how he turns and starts working with our guys. I think they do that through Daryl. They already established the start of their relationship because those two characters met, then there was a conflict there, and then Dwight really pissed off Daryl when he robbed him and everything. When Dwight enters the story again, now we have obviously the entire break because this is not season 6 material, this is season 7, but obviously the entire break we're going to have time to speculate how they're going to piece this story together. But why I'm talking about this briefly in Season 6 is because I think because they're already setting the story up, this is clear-cut proof that Daryl will live for the rest of Season 6. Maybe even into Season 7 and All Out War, because I do believe it will be through Daryl that our group begins to trust Dwight, because they gotta flesh it out a little more. In the comic, it was more of an unknown. Rick really took a chance trusting this son of a bitch, so I do believe that makes it a bit more realistic and helps the fans understand why Rick would be like, okay, let's give this guy a shot, we'll see where this goes. So I do believe they can use that angle with Dwight and with Daryl and Dwight. And speaking of Daryl surviving through all of Season 6, he mentioned in an interview that he was going to go back to filming The Walking Dead. I don't believe that is a hint at all. Even if he died, I believe that would be something that a seasoned actor would know to do. You know what I mean? We've had a couple guests like the Noah. We were able to predict his death because he said it was fun working while it lasted or some stupid shit like that, which was a total mistake. because it was a red flag. So I do believe someone like Norman Reedus knows better than to say, yep, I'm going to film this movie, and then my schedule's open. You know, he would never say that. I think it's what they're building between Dwight and Daryl that's the biggest evidence right now that Daryl Dixon will survive throughout all of season 6 and at least half or most or all of season 7, depending on how long it takes them to bring this story to light. So, do you think they're going to use the Dwight and Daryl dynamic and connection they've already established to help Rick accept Dwight's allegiance and support or whatever, cooperation? Do you think they're going to go that angle, or do you believe that it was just something they had in the story and Daryl and Dwight aren't going to have any future, interactions as much? Another thing that I think they're definitely going to do, and I keep saying this, is bicker and bullshit over the crossbow and robbing him. I think that's gold. You can't pass on that. Anyway, put your thoughts and opinions in that comment box. Sorry I'm stuttering. I got a million videos I'm trying to work on. Thoughts and opinions down there. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.